In 1847, a Spanish cartographer named Diego Herrera made a calculation that stopped him completely. He had been mapping the Yucatan Peninsula for 3 years. He was methodical, precise, a man who trusted numbers above everything else. He counted the buildings. He measured the streets. He calculated the population required to sustain a city of this scale. 40,000 people. He checked the number twice, then a third time. 40,000 people had lived here, and not one of them had left a body, a grave, or a final record explaining where they went. He wrote that night, "I have mapped ruins across 4 continents. I have never stood in a place that felt unfinished. This place feels unfinished." The kingdom of Kaan Ahau was established in 743. Its founder built his capital over 40 years. The city grew from a single ceremonial plaza into a sophisticated urban center covering 12 square kilometers. At its peak, 40,000 people. 160 rooms in the royal palace alone. Underground aqueducts supplying fresh water to every district. Astronomical observatories aligned to track Venus and Mars with documented accuracy. And a library carved directly into stone containing astronomical records spanning 400 years. Herrera spent his first week at the site simply walking, not measuring, not recording. Walking. He noted in his journal. The southern district still has water jars positioned beside sleeping mats. Cooking vessels stacked in the order they would have been used. In one home, a child's sandal beside the door, not scattered, placed, as if someone expected to return. For 240 years, Kaan Ahau kept detailed records, stone inscriptions, painted murals, ceramic vessels with administrative markings, a picture of a civilization that understood itself to be permanent. The last inscription in the royal palace is dated the 14th day of the 8th month of 983. It records something routine, a ceremony planned for the following week. Grain stores accounted for, officials assigned, then nothing. No final inscription, no record of catastrophe. Herrera consulted regional records from that period. Drought data, seismic activity, military conflicts. Nothing corresponded to this location at this time. Some historians later argued the abandonment was gradual, a slow decline over decades. Herrera rejected this. The evidence did not support it. The final records showed a city operating at full capacity, not declining, functioning, and then stopped. 3 days into his survey of the road network, Herrera noticed something that had not appeared in any previous account of the site. All 7 roads leading out of Kaan Ahau had been deliberately blocked, not by collapse, not by jungle growth, by stone. Carefully placed stone, positioned after the roads were built, sealing each exit from the inside. Someone had closed the roads from within the city after the population was already gone. Herrera wrote, "This changes everything I thought I understood. You do not seal roads behind a departing population. You seal roads to prevent entry, or to prevent something inside from leaving." He spent 2 weeks trying to find evidence of where 40,000 people had gone. He found nothing. No mass graves, no migration trails, no settlements in the surrounding jungle that corresponded to a population of this size arriving from elsewhere. 40,000 people. No trace. There is one room in the royal palace that Herrera could not enter. On the 3rd level, sealed completely. Stone placed over the entrance with a precision that suggested intention rather than collapse. He tried to remove the seal 3 times. Each time the surrounding structure showed signs of instability that made him stop. He wrote in his final journal entry from the site, "There is something behind that wall. I do not know what it is. I am not certain I am meant to find out. He left the site in the spring of 1848. He never returned. The sealed room waited for 75 more years. The room was opened in 1923, not by historians, not by archaeologists following Herrera's journals, by a restoration team hired to stabilize the third level before the structure collapsed entirely. One worker, a man named Esteban Ruiz, who had spent 15 years in jungle restoration, tapped the sealed wall with his palm. Standard procedure, checking density before adding support beams. He called the team leader immediately. The team leader, a Mexican archaeologist named Dr. Carlos Vega, spent 3 days examining the wall before authorizing its removal. He noted the precision of the ceiling stones. The joints were tighter than anything else in the palace. Whoever sealed this room had taken extraordinary care. He wrote, "This was not sealed to hide something. It was sealed to protect something. There is a difference. I have spent 20 years learning to tell them apart." The opening took 4 days. When the last stone was removed, the air that escaped was different, cooler than the surrounding chambers, completely still. Dr. Vega stepped inside alone. He stood there for 9 minutes. His assistant waited outside. Later, he said Vega made no sound during those 9 minutes. No exclamation, no reaction. Complete silence. When he came out, he sat down on the floor of the corridor. He did not speak for several minutes. His assistant asked what was inside. Vega said, "I need to write this down before I describe it to anyone." The chamber was small, 4 meters by 5. Stone floor, stone walls, stone ceiling. No objects, no inscriptions on the walls, no furniture. Except one thing, the floor. The entire floor of the chamber, every centimeter, was covered in an engraved map. Not painted, not drawn. Carved into the stone itself. Thousands of hours of work. Possibly years. Dr. Vega spent 2 weeks documenting it before allowing anyone else to enter. The map showed the Yucatan Peninsula in extraordinary detail. Cities, roads, rivers, astronomical alignments. A level of geographic accuracy that should not have been possible in 983. But at the center of the map, carved deeper than everything else, was a symbol Vega had never encountered in any Mayan inscription. And beneath that symbol, a location. Approximately 40 kilometers northeast of Kaan Ahau. No city was known to exist there. No temple, no road, nothing. Vega organized an expedition within weeks. He never completed it. 6 weeks after the chamber was opened, his team's access was suspended. Government transfer, pending review. The review concluded 14 months later. The findings were classified. The chamber was sealed again. Vega spent the next 28 years writing letters to universities, to governments, to archaeological societies. Every letter was answered. Every request was denied. In his final letter, written 3 weeks before his death in 1951, he wrote one paragraph that has stayed with every researcher who has since read it. He wrote, "Maps are made to be used. Maps show people where to go." This map was sealed inside a wall for 900 years, which means it was not made for the people who made it. It was made for someone who would come later, someone who would arrive at the right moment. I believed I was that person. I was wrong. But someone will be right. In 2019, a satellite imaging team identified unusual geometric patterns beneath the jungle canopy 40 kilometers northeast of Kaan Ahau, patterns inconsistent with natural formation, suggesting a large buried structure. The preliminary report was published. Within 4 months, it was quietly withdrawn. The researchers have not commented publicly since. 40,000 people left a city in 983. They sealed the roads behind them. They left a map on the floor of a hidden chamber, pointing to somewhere they were going, or somewhere they had already been. The chamber is sealed again now. The map is still there. The location it points to has never been officially excavated. And the symbol at the center of the map, the one Diego Herrera never saw, the one Dr. Vega spent 28 years trying to explain, has still not been identified in any other Mayan inscription anywhere in the world. One symbol, carved deeper than everything else, as if whoever made it wanted to be certain it would survive, as if they knew someone would eventually come looking. Some kingdoms do not fall. Some kingdoms simply leave. If you want to know about the palace where the royal family walked out one morning and never returned, leaving every room exactly as it was, that story is coming next. Subscribe, and I will see you there. One final thing. The kingdom, the ruler, and the archaeologist are fictional constructions built from real historical patterns. The question underneath this story is worth asking.